Hello, this is Christmas Day 2023. This is my King's speech. For today I'll be alone, I'll be lonely, but I've arranged to meet my daughter tomorrow, so I'm going to do it round to Emma's. I'm going to have something to eat on Boxing Day. But I've cooked my turkey, and had some yesterday, and I've had half of it and I've got half of it left. So I'll be doing a full Christmas dinner for myself today. But I've got a task on today. I've got to do my first lesson on databases for my Bobby Charlton Infonet and my college. So I'll be telling you about databases in a minute. But what I've got to do now is to say I've got to go through my Premier Care database from 2021, websites that I've created for golf clubs. Now, how that worked is to keep my project ticking over, to raise money for my project. I created a website for a golf club and charged £101, and I put £101 then forward into my budget for developing the Infonet and Internet services, Internet and Internet services. So I've been ticking over, keeping the budget rolling by registering golf clubs. So now I've got to put them together and register them into Magna Carta, which is going to be a difficult job because I need to find out what county they're in and what their postcode is. But I'm going to leave that for now because I'm going to get Richard to write me Magna Carta, and then we can put that out to communication on the BBC to get people to register their proto pages that I've registered for them, and I'll give them passwords to them for £101 a time, configured as a gift for Santanet for Christmas, my Christmas present to the golfing community of the UK for the publication The Golf Business. So I've done a Golf Business Christmas special, and I'll be putting out 101 golf clubs that I'm going to start registering today, sometime this afternoon. Right. About databases. What is a database? It's just a collection of information in tables. And there are just a few types of tables that you need to concern yourself with. One is a parent table, and one is a child table. And then sat between them there is a parent-child relationship to give you a one-to-many relationship. And that's probably the most important thing you need to know about creating databases. Creating many-to-many relationships. You can then have a lookup table, which gives you the properties of an object. So you can have a part number as the object, and the properties will be the prices. So that's a lookup table. Now, in my Nimrod database, we're dealing with occupancy, which is an occupancy table, which has a start of period processing and an end of period processing, and then dated events within that. So that's my Nimrod database for you. I was going to do it as a hierarchical database, so Nimrod would be a hybrid database, hierarchical, but that's a little bit too complicated to do the pointers on the record sets. So I won't be doing that. But you can, by all means, attempt to do that. You can look at hierarchical databases and look at pointers on record sets, and look at your scheme of control and write your scheme of control to control your pointers on your data sets. But that'd be quite a difficult task, so I'm not going down that route. Now, the other table I want you to concern yourself with is a data dictionary. The data dictionary drives the database. You have a master file, which is your ISAM, going back to ISAM, a master file of data codes, which was then converted to VSAM, which is Virtual Storage Access Method on IBM mainframe. And you have a data dictionary that accesses it. That is about it. We could, if we're going down the route of doing a system similar to Peterborough Softwares, where you could actually put formulas into a database, you could have a table which is a rules file, which is a data driven by data code, and you have the formula to drive the processing. So we can consider that as well when we do our Erasmus processing. Right, so that's all I want to tell you about tables. Other than that, there's two projects. One's called Whigby Pankhurst, and the other one's called Longhorn Peterloo. Now, Whigby Pankhurst is Google Forms, which is also easy to use, also easy to set up, and you can set up your database and start to collect your information. Now, the sad thing about Google is there is no application for you then to update a table. You create your spreadsheets, and you can edit your spreadsheets as in the spreadsheet editor, but there's no transaction for a user to go in and change the tables. It would be terrific if Google could do that. It would be fantastic. It would close the loop, but they haven't done it. But still, as a database designer in Foundation Consulting and Foundation Computing, you can give your users the task of creating Google tables and get them to focus on the keys. The primary key in the table is the primary key of the table, and then you've got foreign keys, which is child keys, which are linked to other tables. You can have a number of foreign keys and one primary key. Now we're going to be doing a project called Zeus, which is a multi-channel, multilingual table, where you'll have a table which controls the view of your database. So you'll have the opportunity to put in the channel number and the opportunity to put in the language, and it will extract from your data dictionary the fields which are on that table and give the description of the field from the data dictionary. I've not tried this. I don't have a system to do it. I don't have a Visual Studio system to. I'm working on Apple Macs. I've got a couple of Apple Macs, and I've got my old home server is now a Linux machine, and I'm getting round to actually getting a machine with Visual Studio on it once Richard Gilbert has mastered Blazor and Azure. Once he's done that and he's put the courses up onto the internet on Richard Gilbert intranet with his source that I can copy, I can then start cloning his applications. So I'll do that in time. He's not got around to it yet. It's something that we're working on. So we want to get you started as Bobby Charlton Infonet on Whigby Pankhurst, which is Google Forms. So that gets you started. You're 8 years of age. You're capable of doing it, and that will get you into IT, thinking about database design. You'll then get to a stage where you'll buy a quicker machine and get a Visual Studio on it, and start doing SQL Server or PHP MySQL, depending on which path you want to go down, depending on what Richard does on his Blazor Azure and how that will guide you through how to do database table management systems, DBMS. Right, quite happy with that video. It's taken 10 minutes. I'd like to wish you a happy Christmas. And to King Charles, this is the end of your speech. Happy Christmas. God bless the King. John Lennon, give peace a chance. Happy Christmas.